Did everyone hear about the story in Lindsay? So this criminal that's wanted by the police breaks into this guy's house. This guy gives him a beating, and this guy gets charged. And the other guy gets charged. But something is broken. I know if someone breaks into my house or someone else's, you're going to fight for your life. This guy has a weapon. You're going to use any force you possibly can to protect your family. I'm telling you, I know everyone would. I'd be scared to break into Kevon's house. Look at it, he's like a linebacker. He'd beat the living crap out of the guy, as he should. Because enough's enough here. Violence and breaking into people's homes, putting guns to their head. And guess what? Some bleeding heart judge, little Johnny, he didn't have a good upbringing. So we're going to let him out on bail 5 more times because he's on his 5th, being let out on bail 5 times, just to go do the same thing the next day. I'll tell you one thing, I get more calls than anyone in the country. People are done with this. They're absolutely done. They're finished. You should be able to protect your family when someone's going in there to harm your family and your kids. You should use all resources you possibly can to protect your family. And maybe these criminals will think twice about breaking into someone's home.
Doug Ford on this one. Recently, I've been agreeing with Doug Ford quite a bit with the tariffs, the way he's standing up to DJT, and now again, I'm agreeing with him on this. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that here in Canada, someone defending their own home has to be gauging to make sure that their response is equivalent to the attack that they are facing. In an attack, who has that much time to be able to figure out, is this gonna be too extreme, or is this enough? You know what I mean? Who is able to really figure all that stuff out in an attack, right? So now you have a homeowner, 44-year-old man, defending himself in his own home at 3 a.m. from someone breaking into his house at 3 a.m. And now he's facing aggravated assault and assault for defending his home and himself and his family. So what was that guy supposed to do, y'all? Let me know down in the comments below what exactly is the OPP expecting that guy to do in this point. Because this is in Ontario. And this is the guy that you just heard that as Premier Doug Ford of Ontario. So even the Premier of Ontario doesn't even agree with this. So really, I feel as if something absolutely needs to be done here. It's not the first time you hear something like this as well. And it's funny, just today I had an argument with my brother about this same topic. He lives in Belgium, and he was of the opinion that, it's normal. If you hurt someone, even though they broke into your house, then it's normal that you're going to be arrested. And that's how it's done even in the US. So we argued for many minutes, and finally we agreed to just, we're just going to agree to disagree. But when I saw this clip from Doug Ford, I had to share it with him because I'm like, look, even the Premier of Ontario even acknowledges that is some BS that went down there. But you know what's the worst part? Now, these guys like the Kawartha Police, they've actually doubled down. And so they actually believe that they have a case here and that they haven't completely botched this one. And that they actually have a reason to have arrested this poor homeowner for simply just defending his home. If he had tried to call 911, would they have been able to respond fast enough? So actually, this is what the Kawartha Lakes Police have to say. So Kawartha Lakes Police are defending the decision to charge a homeowner with assault after an altercation with a man who had allegedly broken into his home in Lindsay. Investigators say they responded to an apartment on Kent Street around 3:20 a.m. on August 18. Okay. So the residents of the apartment had woken up to find another man inside his home. There was allegedly an altercation, and the intruder suffered serious life-threatening injuries. He was then airlifted to a Toronto hospital. So let me ask the police then this question. So what if the guy had lost that fight? Because it looks like they had a fight, an altercation, and the home invader lost the altercation. And now you're going to punish the guy whose home was invaded. So what if he had lost that fight then and lost his life? Then what? Then he'll be free to go at that point, I guess? Yeah, because he's gone, right? This particular one here really grinds my gears. To be honest, it really grinds my gears because I feel like I see law-abiding citizens, they always get to be the ones being held to every single rule book, right? They throw the rule book at law-abiding citizens. Oh, you're driving this fast. Oh, you rode your stop sign. Oh, you did this. Oh, you did that. Oh, you defended yourself in your own home, right? So it seems like as if law-abiding citizens were the ones that they throw the law book at. And then the criminals, they're just left to be like, oh, well, they're criminals. Criminals got a criminal. And I just don't like that, to be honest. I love Canada, but this is one thing about Canada that I really think needs they need to shine like a microscope under this particular issue, to be honest. So anyways, I keep reading here. The homeowner, a 44-year-old man from Lindsay, has been charged with aggravated assault and assault. The alleged intruder, a 41-year-old Lindsay man, was already wanted by police. Can you believe that? At the time of the incident, and is facing additional charges of possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose. So the guy even had a weapon. So, I mean, that means that this Lindsay man, the homeowner, had every reason to fear for his life. Wow. So, yeah, he facing additional charges of possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose, break, enter, and theft, mischief under 5,000, and failure to comply with probation. Police issued a statement on Wednesday in response to the significant public interest and emotional responses the incident had generated, with Kawartha Lakes Police Chief Kirk Robertson defending his officers and their actions against the negative commentary. Robertson noted that investigators examined all the information and evidence available before laying charges, and that only a limited amount of information is being released to the public. So that's unfortunate, right? They're gonna not release any information. Don't be surprised that I'm not gonna make any assumptions here. We're gonna obviously wait to see how this plays out. But what else do you want to know? Like, what was the guy doing in somebody's home armed at 3 a.m.? Tell me. Was he there to sing Kumbaya? There to cuddle him? What exactly was he doing in somebody's home at 3 a.m. with a weapon? So Robertson noted that investigators examined all the information and evidence available before laying charges, and that only a limited amount of information is being released to the public. I already read that. Under Canadian law, individuals have the right to defend themselves and their property. However, it is important to understand that these rights are not unlimited in Canada. The law requires that any defensive action be proportionate to the threat faced, read Robertson's statement. This means that while homeowners do have the right to protect themselves and their property, the use of force must be reasonable given the circumstances. Okay, so hold on. Somebody breaks into your home while you're sleeping at 3 a.m. and then you're supposed to stop to evaluate the force that you're using to defend yourself and your home. So, is this too much force? Is this enough force? I would like to know who's able to think that fast in such an emergency situation with adrenaline pumping and everything. So I think this is ridiculous. And this homeowner is probably going to walk, right? But then he's not going to walk without already having to pay some crazy lawyer fees to defend himself. And for me, this is a travesty, to be honest. You guys share this video. People need to see this because this is a travesty and this should never be happening. There should be like a movement right now, like free the homeowner from Kawartha. Free the homeowner from Kawartha. Premier Doug Ford commented on the incident. So I already played the clip of him. And so here, it looks like Joseph Newberger, a criminal defense lawyer, said he understands why the public would be frustrated when the victim of a home invasion has been charged. You bet we are. But reiterated what police said about the use of force being proportional. In the US, you can do pretty much anything in defending your home, and Canada does not have the same type of provision. We have self-defense laws, so you can defend your property and yourself and your loved ones. But as the police have noted, it's important to ensure that the force used is proportionate. In other words, there has to be no excessive force. All right. So if you find yourself as the victim in a home invasion looking to defend yourself, Newberger said that whatever force you're meeting to repel, you have to try and use something similar or a little bit more than it is, but not something too excessive. But added, it's not always easy to make that determination, especially being in the heat of the moment. Who's going to have that much time to think? This is ridiculous. It's very difficult to measure in the bands, especially when it's highly emotional. You're worried about people in your midst. You've never experienced something like this. It's very, very challenging. But he added, ultimately, it's up to the courts to decide and up to that homeowner to pay a solid lawyer to defend him, right? Who's going to pay that money? Is he going to get back his lawyer money for like this ridiculous, frivolous charge? Or are you guys just if he's just this, if he's found to be innocent, then he's just gonna be like, okay, well, off you go after spending thousands in lawyer fees. I really hope that they really reimburse this guy any additional expenses that they're gonna cost him from this allegedly frivolous charge, because that's what I think this is, to be honest. But y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. Be sure to give me a like and a subscribe. Smash that like and that subscribe for your boy LeVibes. And until next time, peace.